Hi everyone. Um, I would like to welcome you all into our presentation on twins. So in this video, we're basically going to talk about twins. And there are two different types of twins that according to our research, we have found out that there are two different types of twins. And basically, we're going to talk about those two different types of twins. So these two different types of twins is they are called identical twins. That's the first one, and the second is fraternal twins. And they also can be referred to as monozygotic twins, which is for the identical twins, and dizygotic or multizygotic twins, which are the fraternal twins. So my friend here is Simon James. He will be basically going through identical twins or monozygotic twins, and I will be basically presenting or giving you information on dizygotic or multizygotic twins, which are also known as fraternal twins. All right, thank you, and we hope you will learn something out of our presentation.
Hey, hello everyone. I'm back here to discuss with you the topic my friend introduced, which I will explain or I will go through. And it's interesting to discuss and know what exactly the identical twin and identical twins, sometimes called monozygotic twins. Of course, there are many types of twins that you might think of. However, you probably already know the two most common types of identical twins. There are two common types of twins. They are fraternal and identical. But what's the difference between fraternal and identical? So what are identical and fraternal twins? These are the questions you might have. In order to exactly know, in this video, we will give you the detailed information on how what is identical and fraternal twin is. Okay. In order to understand the concept, let's start with the basics of how embryos form to understand the mechanics of where twins come from. Okay, now I will discuss on the basic concept that is very important for us to know before we study or before we discuss the topic on identical twins or even fraternal twins. This is exactly what happens. During ovulation period, one or more eggs are released. When an egg is fertilized by a sperm, it's called a zygote. The zygote quickly starts growing into a small cluster of cells that travels from the fallopian tube and implants in the uterus. It continues to grow and begins to form a placenta, which provides nutrients to the developing embryos. Fraternal twins happen when two different eggs are fertilized by two different sperm, typically from the same donor or same person. in the same ovulation, ovulation cycle. They come from two separate zygotes, so each have different genetic materials. Now, having this understanding, I will stick to my topic on the identical twins. Of course, we have discovered that identical twins formed from one zygote, and this is how it happens. Identical twins are also called monozygotic twins. That's because they are the result of one zygote, one fertilized egg that splits into two embryos. However, scientists currently don't know what really causes this split. But the result is the two embryos that have all the same genetic material. That is because they come from the same egg and the same sperm. Except in the cases where an identical twins has ambiguous of intersex. Intersex genitals. Identical twins will be the same sex assigned at the birth, that is of two girls or two boys. Have the same appearances, or they may not look alike, or they may have some different features which you might use to distinguish between or identify who is who. In order to do that, let us look at some of the features that may occur in identical twins. Identical twins tend to look very similar, more similar than most other siblings. But Dr. Pesican explains that when people say identical twins, it doesn't mean they won't have any physical differences. There are factors beyond your genes that affect where you look. Things like whether one of them smokes or spends more time in the sun or exercises more. These are some of the differences some of the factors that affect or has impact on their development and causes them to be different. And these are some of the factors that Dr. Peskin has identified. Furthermore, let's look at some of the bone factors or bone features that attach to identical twins, or which are found when after they are born, and they grow up with that. And these are even at birth. You may be able to see some differences in identical twins. Small genetic mutations can happen in the womb. So one twin may have a mole or a birthmark that helps you to recognize who is who. Or maybe one gets more blood from the placenta than the other. So one twin is born a little bigger. Okay, now let's look at some common identical twins. How common identical twins are found in the world. Whether identical twin is more common than the fraternal twin or identical twin is less common than the fraternal twin. So this is what some of the facts that we discovered in our study, that is discovered in our research, in order to present this topic on video presentation. This topic, twins on video presentation. Therefore, in my research, I identified that identical twins are less common than the fraternal twins. Identical twins happen in about 3 to 5 of every 1,000 births every day, while fraternal twins tend to run in families. Identical twins don't. Okay, pregnancy complications also occur when having a pregnancy of twins. These are some of the things that we discovered. Okay, it's a common misconception that fraternal twins have 2 placentas and identical twins share 1 placenta. But then Dr. Peskin argued on that misconception that due to several factors. He identified that having that understanding of having two placentas only by fraternal twins and identical twins do share 1 placenta. That idea is wrong, he said. The only way that you can know for sure whether twins are identical or fraternal is through DNA test after delivery. Therefore, that is because identical twins may have 1 or 2 placentas. It depends on how early the zygote splits. Splits. If the split happens earlier in their development, around 3 or 4 days after conception, they'll create 2 different placentas. That is why Dr. Peskin argued on the concept, saying only fraternal twins will have 2 placentas and identical twins will share 1 placenta. That is the argument, and that is his finding, saying that that is not the case, because depending on the early splitting of the zygote may result having 2 placentas, which is more similar to fraternal twins. That is why he identified that only through DNA test identical twins can be identified exactly from the fraternal twins. So only judgment can be made through going under DNA testing after delivery. The issue with the single placenta in monozygotic twins is that if there's any sharing of blood vessels, then the twin who breathes more blood from the placenta grows bigger than the one that breathes less from the placenta. For that reason and other reasons, twin pregnancies are considered to be higher risk than singletons. People pregnant with twins and other multiples are recommended to have more prenatal testing and additional prenatal appointments to ensure healthy fetal development. And that is a concern after researchers have identified many complications going through the development stages of embryos. They found that it is more convenient for pregnant people with twins or multiples to seek prenatal advices from their doctors. That is to save the fetal's health and the parent himself or parent herself. That is the recommendation given by Dr. Pesky. And this is what I can deliver to you with the research that I have made. And I am pretty sure that my friend Zebbedee Bagme will conclude on both of the both types of twins that we have in our society and throughout the world. And there are many other twins that comes under these two topics, but time limitation, we come to this far. And we stop here and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Hello once again. All right, we talk more about twins here. Now, my friend Simon James, in the previous segment of this video, has discussed about identical twins, and I'm gonna talk about fraternal twins. All right. So my friend on his previous discussion on the previous segment, he has talked more about identical twins and the formation of identical twins and the factors that causes the formation of these identical twins, and he has given you more detail about identical twins already. So basically, identical twins, just a quick recap on that. Identical twins is basically formed during conceptual period, when during intercourse you have one female egg that is released, and then you have one sperm cell that is fertilizing the egg, that fertilizes the egg, and this fertilized egg, again, after that it splits into two. And that creates monozygotes or monozygotic twins, or we commonly said identical twins. Okay, so there's a difference between these two types of twins, identical twins and fraternal twins. So now I'm going to talk more about fraternal twins or dizygotic twins. Okay, so dizygotic or multizygotic may sound like some kind of exotic disease, but dizygotic is actually the scientific term to describe something you probably have already known, which is fraternal twins. And zygosity is a way to explain how twins are formed. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the zygosity of fraternal twins, or how fraternal twins are formed. Okay, now how do dizygotic or fraternal twins form? So dizygotic twins form from two separate fertilized eggs, okay, by two separate sperm. So these two separate eggs released by the female counterpart is being fertilized by two separate sperm. And when we say dizygotic twins, di means two, and zygote is the egg that is released by the female. Okay, so in most cases, a woman only releases a single egg or ovum, and from her ovaries. So those eggs or ovum from the ovaries, in most cases, only one egg is released. Okay, so, and this is during the ovulation cycle. But sometimes, for various reasons, multiple eggs are released in a cycle, and that's where you have twins, or you have quadruplets, quintuplets. That is when multiple eggs are released from the ovaries. Okay. So, if sexual intercourse or insemination occurs and the eggs are fertilized, multiples can result when multiple eggs are released. Okay, so dizygotic twins occur when two eggs are fertilized by two sperm cells implanted in the uterus and developed into two fetus. Okay, so the term multizygotic can also describe twins as well as other multiples such as triplets, quadruplets, quintuplets, or more. Okay, sometimes a mother can release more than like 5 eggs, and remember, a sperm when during intercourse, when a male ejaculates, there are millions of cells passing through the fallopian tube. So that depends on the female counterpart. If the female counterpart releases multiple ovums or eggs, then those eggs are fertilized, and that results in the number of fetuses that are formed in the woman's womb. Okay, so now the term dizygotic can also describe two twins, as well as other multiples, like I said, such as triplets, quadruplets, and quintuplets, or more. It simply differentiates multiples that originates from separate zygotes, as opposed to monozygotic multiples that form from a single fertilized egg that splits. Okay, so dizygotic dizygotic twin are two siblings who come from separate ova or eggs that are released at the same time from an ovary and are fertilized by separate sperm. The term originates from di, meaning two, and zygote, which is the egg. So that's dizygote, meaning two eggs. So the rate of dizygotic twinning varies considerably worldwide. For example, parts of Central and Western Africa have very high twinning rates. Yes, the studies have shown in Nigeria. Studies have shown that Nigeria have reported rates of more than 45 sets of twins per 1,000 beds. So, by comparison, the rates in South and Southeast Asia appears to be as low as 6 to 9 twin beds per 1,000 or per 1,000 beds. So there's a big difference in certain regions of the world where twins are bettered. Okay, so while these figures concern all twin beds, monozygotic and dizygotic, both of them, dizygotic twinning occurs for the majority. Okay, so at least 2/3 of them. So in that figures that are given, 2/3 of that, if there is a if there is a 9 or 10 twins per 1,000 beds, if it is 10 twins per 1,000 beds, if it is 2/3, that means six beds of these 2,000 twin beds are basically dizygotic twins. Okay, so dizygotic twins develop in the uterus separately. Each zygote develop with its own chorion or outer sac. Okay, so the chorion is connected to the placenta, which is the protective membrane that surrounds the developing fetus. So the placenta houses the fetus. So it's kind of a wall that houses the fetus and allows it to develop inside the woman's womb. Okay. So the placenta lines the uterine wall, partially envelopes the fetus, and is attached to the umbilical cord. And the placenta exchanges nutrients, wastes, and gases between maternal and fetal blood. So each zygote also has its own inner sac that contains amniotic fluid, and each develops its own placenta. Okay, so however, if the two zygotes implant in the uterus close together, the two placentas may appear as one on the ultrasound. Okay, so because of there being two separate zygotes, the genetic makeup of dizygotic or fraternal twins is different. So and thus they are not identical. That's why they are not identical. On average, these twins will share half of their genes, just like any other pair of siblings. Furthermore, they may be the same sex or be a male and a female pair. Dizygotic twin may have different fathers, meaning that one egg is fertilized by a sperm from one father, and the other egg is fertilized by a different sperm from a different father. These cases are rare and few have been documented. So dizygotic twins are most common for older mothers, with the highest rates found among mothers over 35 years old. Okay, so with the advent of technologies and techniques to assist women in becoming pregnant, the rate of dizygotic twins has increased remarkably. And in some cases, family history or dizygotic twinning is an important factor. Other possible predispositions to dizygotic twins include mothers who are taller and heavier, the recent discontinuation of oral birth control, emotional stress, and diet. Okay, those are some factors, possible factors that causes the twins to be dizygotic. Okay, so there's been speculations that diet may play a pronounced role in African mothers. Okay, the studies have shown that studies and speculations have been drawn that diet may play a pronounced role in African mothers, that particularly among the Yoruba tribe in Nigeria. Where a high frequency of dizygotic twinning is coincident with the consumption of a large quantities of yam called of a particular yam which is rich in phytoestrogen. Okay, phytoestrogen rich yam. Okay, so they think scientists and other professionals on this area has predicted that this yam has caused women in this part of Nigeria, which is in Yoruba, to have mostly the twins dizygotic twins. So environmental stress from chemical agents in highly populated areas may have negative impacts on the frequency of dizygotic twinning also. And thus, while certain background factors likely are important, the occurrence of dizygotic twins may also be influenced by a complex mix of events, and many of which are yet to be fully understood. Okay, there are some causes of dizygotic twins. Unlike monozygotic twinning, which is inexplicable, there are several causes of dizygotic twinning. Okay, ultimately they can all be traced back to some factor that causes a woman to hyperovulate or release more than one egg in a cycle. Okay, some women are wired to release more than one egg at once, perhaps because of a genetic disposition, and others may do so because of hormonal influences. Okay, and perhaps also it's due to breastfeeding, or due to their breastfeeding, or they are taking fertility drugs, or they have just stopped taking birth control pills. So those are some causes or factors that causes women to hyperovulate, and as a result produce multizygotic babies, or multizygotic twins. Okay, so older women may hyperovulate as their bodies lead up to menopause. And there are many other explanations, including diet, race, obesity, and family history. Okay, how can you tell if twins are dizygotic? Okay, you may think that you can tell if twins are dizygotic based on how they look. It's commonly thought that identical or monozygotic twins look alike, while fraternal or dizygotic twins do not. However, that is not exactly the case, and as there are exceptions on both fronts. Some monozygotic twins do look remarkably similar, but others don't look the same. Likewise, some dizygotic twins bear a strong resemblance, while others don't. Okay, so dizygotic twins, they share the same genetic commonalities as any other siblings. Okay, any other ordinary siblings, as they receive half of their DNA from the mother and half of their DNA from their fathers. Okay, so generally they are about 50% genetically identical. Okay, just like some families show common physical traits, some dizygotic twins will have commonalities. And have you ever heard people saying she looks just like her sister did at that age? Dizygotic twins are essentially same age siblings. Okay, they can be compared side by side at the same moment in time, where singleton siblings must rely on photographs or memories for same age comparison. So genetic wise, dizygotic twins and normal singleton siblings, or siblings, or people that are born singular born, they are genetically they are same. Okay, it's genetically 50% from the father and 50% from the mother. So there is no difference in there. All right. There are some ways to establish for sure whether twins are dizygotic. Okay, if they're a boy and a girl, they are definitely dizygotic. And if they have different blood types, they are definitely dizygotic. And if there is one placenta, they are probably not dizygotic. And if there are two placentas, they can be dizygotic, but can also be monozygotic. And if there are monochorionic, they are not dizygotic. If they are monoamniotic, if they are monoamniotic, they are definitely not dizygotic. Okay, so, and also if they look alike, they could be dizygotic. And if a DNA analysis reveals differences in markers, they are definitely dizygotic. And if a DNA analysis reveals highly compatible markers, they are not dizygotic. So dizygotic twins can be boys, girls, or one of each. So they can be two boys, two girls, or one girl, one boy. Okay. So all boy-girl twins are dizygotic twins. Okay, we can conclude that all boy-girl twins are dizygotic twins, and with rare exceptions. They are so rare that the average person is unlikely to ever encounter them. Okay, so it may be possible to determine if twins are dizygotic during pregnancy, but sometimes it can be confirmed until they are born. Many people, including medical professionals, assume that twins are dizygotic if they are in different sex and have two separate placentas. Okay. However, that is not always the case. Sometimes through ultrasound or other testing, clues can help detect zygosity, such as different sex or different blood type. But often, in the absence of such distinctions, a DNA test is the most accurate. It's the most accurate way to verify twins are dizygotic. Okay, in summary, dizygotic twins are like two individuals who happen to develop in the womb at the same time, but they are not more genetically similar than any other siblings. So there are unique genetic makeup and development that make them a fascinating subject of study. Okay, thank you for listening to our video presentation, and we hope you have learned more on twins in this presentation.